ripping our flesh out and showing it to you and throwing chairs at it because it's Flashout 2. It's a Unity game from Jujubee S.A. from Portugal. Oh, Jujubee.pl apparently.
No, it's
Or that's
Poland.
Poland, not Portugal. Portugal is PT.
Portugal is
Just
PT.
as backwards.
Whatever. They both charge tanks on horses. It's all good. What is it? It's a racing game. Flashout 2 is the sequel to the highly anticipated anti-gravity racer Flashout 3D. It's finally here. Get into one of the many ultra-fast ships and use your arsenal of rockets, guns, and bonuses and upgrades to fight your way to victory, half of which you can't actually use. And of course, with every game that crosses our path, we subjected to the chair acquisition. 1 chair means that it's shit. 2 chairs means that it's math. 3 chairs means that it's pretty good. And 4 chairs means shut up and take my money. Half-Life 3 confirmed. Zom, Daisy on Linux. And of course, we have our categories: Doom, Makes With The Working, Shiny Sounds, Controls, and Fun. So then, Flashout 2, how did it make with the working?
Makes with the working. Now, one would assume, I mean, this is clearly an Android game, so they got some experience at least running with Dalvik, or Art, or whatever the new source is.
It would have been Dalvik.
Right. We're testing it on our minimum test system of You're Doing It Wrong. Ubuntu 14.04 LTS Dual 770 powered NVIDIA's system of business. For the most part, by the definition, it ran. I mean, it launched, it created a window. The first thing you're going to notice is that Unity control section of Nope, is I would like to call it. That means, oh shit, we didn't bother.
What are you talking about? Unity has
Lazy
the
ass
best
developer.
Right. And when you see that, I mean, the only person who will defend that's Levi until, Ryan C gets in and he's like, yeah, this is a bit shit. I'll give it. I can't give it a perfect score just because I hate this game so much. So no 4 chairs. You would think. No.
Oh,
I'm gonna give it a try. J-Man, what did you test it on? You gave it
much like then the audio, the game starts up.
There's so much.
It draws a window. It does its thing, and then the sound kicks in. Oh god, the sound does not like my audio configuration at all, because it just immediately defaults to the Creative Sound Blaster USB card I have plugged in the back of that thing, which is plugged into my room speakers, and starts filling the entire apartment with static, to the point where my roommate runs in and says, "What the hell are you doing? You're freaking the cat out." Again.
And you have your clothes on. It's weird.
Exactly. But after a while, the audio goes back to normal. That's still not enough to give it 4 chairs, so I'll give it 3.
Yeah,
Pedro.
for me, on the calculator, it ran well enough, although I was tempted to get a chair when I saw the Unity launcher pop-up type thing. But no, it actually ran. I didn't run into any audio issues or anything, so 4 chairs.
No, well, that's 3 chairs for Mix with the Working. Up next, it's Shiny and Sounds. Ben.
Let's take a look
begins.
at this. All aboard the Nightmare Train.
Choo-choo!
We have a special place reserved in hell for this game, right down the hall, next to Real Player and across from Hitler. If you look at it, now we picked this up with our own wet stinkies, and you look at it, it's like, yeah, that looks kind of neat, maybe a little Wipeout XR, got some of that business going. You see, in this little tiny screen, it looks like it's a bit of all right. Until you look at it on something like a low-res screen, like a 1080p. I'm sorry, next-gen console gamers. That's like the lowest you really want to go. That's 60 frames of fuck you, that's Y per second. The shinies, it's clearly a fucking Android point. And their latest update, it was like, we've updated a graphic, and literally, it must have been a graphic somewhere on a pixel, because I fucking didn't see it, and it still looks like a blown-up-ass Android game to me. The sounds, the ooncenings, that's all it is. And I don't have anything against the oonces and the wubs, as the kids call it this day. It's shit wub and shit oons. and it's repetitive. You can't really tell the difference between the soundtracks. So it did make my pussies jump out. It made them bleed a little bit. And my pussies was like, mute that, put some Slayer on, and give this game what it deserves, Vin, because it's just one chair.
Oh, yeah, no. Like, the game looks alright in the trailer. And I don't, just because it's in such a tiny screen, and then when you actually play the game, it looks totally stretched out and not very good. And of course, the wub. Oh God, the wubs. It's just the music is nauseating. It is an assault to common sense and decency everywhere. Oh, this game, it makes me physically ill to look at and listen to. So one chair.
Yeah. There's a special place in hell for this game, like Ven said. It's sitting right next to Legends of Aetherius. If a game's visuals make me physically ill, you're either doing a horror game or you're doing it really fucking wrong. Because I have astigmatism. That fucking blur makes me... It gives me a migraine. The music, it lasted about 5 minutes because at that point Nori asked, "Why haven't you muted it yet?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're probably right." So 1 chair for me.
Oh, just one.
1 whole chair, so that tallies up to 1 chair for shining sounds and controls.
No, this is where it shines. Absolutely.
No. It controls like you are in fact a drunk driver, doesn't it?
Using our X-Clone controller, which we've just established is, an Xbox controller that fell off the back of a bus somewhere in China, because it works just like the real business, and it basically cost me the same. Fuck, this thing's busted.
Oh, yeah.
We call it the Unity screen of nope. When you play a Unity game in it, even on Steam, and it pops up that window with like moon configuration options to the right. It's like, here, you can map this button to joypad y-axis Z13, fuck you, because that's why. And it's like, oh, what does that do in the game? I don't know. I'm Unity, fuck you. And that's kind of what we're facing. And me and J-Man played a little bit of this last night to check the update, see if they fixed anything. Buttons just don't fucking work, all right?
You're supposed to have like a booster or a shield or something.
Even worse, you start playing the tutorial, and this is across the board. You got your controller in your hand, and you're like, all right, flying. Then it pops up, and it says, here, do this other bullshit challenge. You're like, okay, enter, start, or whatever. No, not having any of that. Unity's like, no, that'd be silly. Put down your controller, pick up your gerbil, and manually click OK. Then grab your controller again and continue and try that fucking challenge. Because that's what you're going to be doing. And J-Man's going to get into this as well. Shields, I've never been able to activate the entire time I've owned this game, and ow, aneurysm, 1 chair. Sorry.
Like I said, this game controls like you're a drunk driver. But at the very least, you can steer, which saves it from being a 1 chair in the control section. However, it's great when it's supposed to be like combat racing and all the other bots, because fuck all, who the hell is playing this game really? go look a couple days ago at Pedro's Google Plus page. It's like, I wanted to play with some people, and then I was the only one online. Honestly, it looks like someone maybe spent 5 minutes looking at the control configuration saying, yeah, that's about right. But again, on even the actual Xbox controller here, this guy of actualness, nothing, nada. You can shoot sometimes. You have no thrust. You have no shield.
But no, the buttons are clearly labeled, right? I mean,
the buttons are very clearly labeled. Even on the Unity screen, it's just like, 3, oh yeah, those 4. Are buttons. What do they do? Oh,
fuck all idea.
So yeah, shame half the buttons on the controller do absolutely fuck nothing. So it gets 2 chairs because at least you can steer.
So here's the thing: on the PS2 DualShock controller, you accelerate with the triangle, this one,
Man.
You steer with the D-pad or the left analog stick. To fire a gun, you push down on the right analog stick.
R3?
No. You literally push the analog stick down.
Oh.
See?
Oh.
Yes.
Whoa.
Just like
That's
that.
intuitive.
Shields are nowhere to be found. The speed bursts, thrusts, whatever you want to call them. No idea. The working on the keyboard, I pressed every single key and I managed to work out which keys are which, and that's the sole reason that this game doesn't get one chair, is because with the keyboard it is still mildly playable, so it gets 2 chairs, a very, very flimsy
playable.
2 chairs.
Yeah, they're the cheap plastic lawn chairs that your
Yeah.
fat friend sits on, and then they just get destroyed. All right, so that's 1 chair for control. Up next is our final subjective category. Fun. Ben, did you have fun? I had fun.
I'll tell you this. Earlier this week, I finally cracked into some of my Blair's Reserve 2 million Scoville hot sauce. Had a bit of it. I actually had a bit more than I should have had. I like hot stuff, and I was like, it's hot, and whatever. I didn't think about it, went to bed. Woke up the next morning, and I was like, you know what you do, you gotta go take a piss, right? And then it clicked in the back of my mind. It was like, oh, like right before I started, I was like, oh, right, this thing. I was pissing fire, and you can't stop, and you just sit there and just cry. That was more fun than this game. I enjoyed myself quite a bit more. I mean, multiplayer is a damn joke. This is like my first Unity fucking game, and you see this when you go to multiplayer, and it's just like random matchmaking lobby laziness,
which is great if you want to play with your friends, because
right. Well, I mean, it's kind of easy with the only 3 people playing the fucking game.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yep.
And you gotta look. This game was originally created for your Android devices as a pay-to-win type game. So they had to convert all that into this pointless currency of points to upgrade shit that doesn't work with the original mechanic of pay-to-fucking-play. It just makes it even more stupid. Mix that with the bullshit, stretched out, boring graphics, controls completely busted. And they did add something that was like, oh, we'll take off auto acceleration. That doesn't work. And just a whole lot of nope sauce. I mean, it's like they fucking manufactured a brand new nope train and drove it right into my face. I don't know what to say. I mean, we can't give it 0 chairs for fun, but boom, right there, 1 chair for your face organ.
I think this game made me cough up some blood. I think I might have cancer. Oh, seriously, this game is bad. When I saw that Pedro put like 1.7 hours and Ben put 1.7 hours into this, I'm just like, how? Did you just like turn it on and leave it running for a while?
No, that was actual testing. I was like,
yeah, that was actual playtime.
Oh yeah, I barely made it to 45 minutes before I literally lost all the will to live. Okay, let's get started on some of the faults of this game. Like Ben said, this is a pay-to-win game, primarily. And much like Knights of Pen and Paper, it loses something in the translation because you can't do in-game purchases on Steam. So you just have to race a bunch, and you get... They give you more money instead of you buying money, and eventually you just soup up your ship car thing, and you win just by virtue of being faster than all the other bots. Not very fun. Also, just given the shitty controls and the constant wubbing, I think I actually have cancer because of this game. I'm dying. I'm dying, Flashout, and it's your fault. 1 chair.
Yeah, let's go through the list of sins of this game.
What are we, cinema sins now?
Yeah, it pops up with the Unity launcher thing.
Duh.
The sound is absolutely repetitive. The visuals are absolutely fucking horrible to the point that they cause me migraines. The controls are completely busted. and there's no one else playing it to even redeem it with the multiplayer factor that perhaps would make it fun of sorts. So that's 5 flaws. Can we give negative chairs?
No.
No.
Remember that
Okay.
time you tried to convince the chairs to change their ways? You lost all the fingers on your right hand.
Yeah, so 1 chair.
All right, that's 1 chair for fun. And if we tally this up,
Beep, boop,
we
beep, boop.
got 1 chair for Flashout 2. This game literally kills babies.
Yeah.
This
goes
game
to
will
fuck- it goes-
definitely.
no. You don't understand how bad this game is.
Final thoughts. Run. I mean, do not give this to Space Hitler. Or I mean, Space Hitler doesn't even approve of this game. And just no. This is bad. This is you really want to like. I want to call up G Money and be like, come here. Look at this. Like, it's bad game. All right. What are your thoughts?
Oh man, this game literally goes into like pounds and stomps on the heads of kittens and puppies. This is just an awful game. If I would say the only excuse you have to buy this game is if someone actually holds a gun to your head.
Well, it's on
No,
sale right now for $4. Buy it for your
personally,
enemies.
If someone put a gun to my head and said, "Jordan, buy this game or I'll shoot you," I would gladly and freely choose death.
Look, at this point, it costs $5. For $5, you can go to McDonald's and have a lot more fun than you ever will with this game.
Or donate to Linux Gamecast Week.
Well, especially
Or
in the
donate to
aftermath.
Linux Gamecast Weekly. Make a one-time donation of $5. You will
Hey, you show
feel
up in the-
better
it shows
about
up in the
yourself than
credits.
if
It'll-
you
it
spend
actually
money on
has
this
a
game.
tangible results.
You actually
Other than
get
money.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As opposed to losing the will to live.